Catherine once again makes Meghan and Harry shameless in one move. As embarrassing emails leaked about the Sussex's conduct, the Princess of Wales didn't need to say a word. Hello everyone, welcome back to the King YouTube channel. If anybody ever wanted to try to write a job description for a princess, it would make for some pretty depressing reading actually. I mean, just think about it, seeking one woman between the ages of 20 and 30 to create an heir and a few spares, to promote British industry, to make small talk with people from all walks of life and never ever look bored in the process. And let's not forget, if she has had some experience wearing a tiara, that is certainly a plus. But there was Catherine, this week back at it, doing princessing like none other. This week, Catherine went to visit a Yorkshire textile mill. Now, was it an exciting trip? Honestly, no. I think I would have been bored to tears if I had to go, but Catherine did it all with a smile. And then by the time Wednesday rolled around, she was back at her usual early years work. She participated in a sensory session at the Orchard Center in Kent. Now, this center supports kids with special needs and their families. We saw some beautiful images of Catherine sitting on padded mats on the floor with the children and their parents. They had some foam, some tinsel, and shredded paper, and it was flying all around. Without a doubt, this showed Catherine in her element, doing a really amazing job as princess. But, you know, the timing could not have been worse for the Montecito malcontents Harry and Meghan. Right around the same time that Catherine was sitting on that floor playing with children, the Daily Mail US was putting on their reporting hat. They got their hands on some emails about a visit made by Meghan and Harry back in 2021 to an elementary school in Harlem. Alright, so for those of you who might need a refresher on this little visit, it's a year after Megxit, and Harry and Meghan have gotten themselves a big US McMansion, and they have some big dreams they're trying to fulfill. So they showed up in New York in September of that year for a surprise royal visit. They were planning to meet with some important people, like the mayor of New York and his wife, and also the governor of New York. They had also scheduled some important meetings with people like the US's UN ambassador and also the World Health Organization. They were doing their best to pretend to be statespeople, and as part of that visit, they also made the almost 70-block trip from their hotel, the Carlisle, to Harlem's Public School 123 Mahalia Jackson School, where Meghan, wearing more than $10,000 worth of clothing, sat in front of a group of second-grade students and read her book, The Bench. According to The Sun, the school is among the poorest in New York. At the time, the photos seemed to suggest that Meghan and Harry's visit was being filmed for some kind of project. Well, now we know what the project was. The project was their docu-series called Harry and Meghan. And if you're somebody who enjoys listening to grown people whine about problems that are not real problems, it is a must-watch. Now, at the time, the visit really didn't get that much attention. It didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. But this week, something new has happened. The Mail, thanks to a Freedom of Information Act request, has obtained emails which have thrown up many less than flattering details about Meghan and Harry's little visit to that public school. For instance, according to the report, representatives for Harry and Meghan raised the idea of bringing cushions and a new carpet to a public school in one of New York's low-income areas to better fit with Meghan's aesthetic. At one point, a publicist for Penguin Random House, who published Meghan's book and also Harry's book Spare, wrote, "My team is looking into all things carpet, cushions, decor, etc. More to come." And then, of course, there's the rumor that Meghan and Harry's team tried to gag teachers and pupils as young as 5 at the school. Now, this was first reported by The Sun earlier this week, and the Mail piece gives even more details. According to the email, students and faculty at the Harlem Elementary School were even asked to sign consent forms for filming that also banned them from discussing the project, or making negative remarks about the famous couple who were visiting. The Mail reported that, quote, Archwell said that it followed standard practice when it came to the NDA. When looking through all of this, the big takeaway is that Meghan and Harry come across as not only incredibly high maintenance and way too demanding, but they also used a public school as a backdrop for some obvious PR nonsense. To be fair, the New York Department of Education also deserves to be criticized for allowing their students to be used as background players. And I know some people are going to argue that the firm regularly exploits cute kids and elderly people in charities to try to make the royal family look good. And there might be some truth to that argument, but still, this is a completely different situation. Because at least when the working royals go to visit daycare centers or gardening projects or whatever to help the people, their presence is mutually beneficial. Sure, it makes the royal family look good, but it also truly helps the people they're there to visit. And that's because when a working royal shows up at a place like that, they help shine a spotlight on some organization that is staffed by some underpaid and overworked people who really do care. And then the member of the family who went there gets a lot of good press, so it truly is mutually beneficial. But can we say the same honestly about Harry and Meghan's little trip to Harlem? Now, I'm sure the children who met Meghan and Harry are going to remember that moment for a long time, maybe even forever. But seriously, when we look at the big picture, what exactly did this public school get out of Meghan and Harry showing up to visit? Well, according to the Mail, Penguin Random House ended up reworking a draft press release about a donation of reading books by Meghan to the nonprofit that supports the public school. Supposedly, Penguin Random House wanted to make it seem like a larger number. Similarly, quote, a news release from the publisher was amended to say that Archewell worked with Procter & Gamble to provide free personal health and hygiene products for the school, rather than just the consumer products giant providing the items. Alright, I understand, PR people have got to do their jobs. But on the other hand, what really happened here? Alright, so let's talk about Catherine's visit. I'm sure that Catherine's visit to the Orchard Center was carefully planned. I'm sure they knew where she was going to go and when she was going to go there. And I'm sure that Catherine's staff recce'd the center, I'm sure they met with the organization, and I'm sure they figured out in detail what Catherine was going to do, who she was going to talk to, and what was going to be going on while she was visiting. But still, there is a very big difference between something being planned carefully and worrying about whether or not the chairs are going to match Catherine's outfit. Just think about how carefully controlled Catherine's image is, but still, we have never heard that her team has requested decor changes or asked parents to sign documents stopping them from ever posting something bad about Catherine on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it these days. When Catherine went to Kent, we would have to assume that she had no greater ulterior motive than to promote her early years' work and the Orchard Center, but she also managed to throw the Mail's claims about Meghan and Harry into relief. There is certainly a line between careful pre-planning and being so conscious of one's image that they want to bring in their own cushions to a public school. It is kind of ironic when you think about it that in trying to control Meghan's image to such a ridiculous degree, they really only succeeded in making her look bad. And you, what do you think about this issue? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. And if you preferred our video this evening, don't be afraid to like and share it with your friends and family who would enjoy it too. Please don't forget to subscribe to our The King YouTube channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely evening, and we'll be back to see you tomorrow. Bye. I love you all.